Hi again, everybody. Steve Hallstrom here at Luther Family Ford for the April edition of the Salute to Law Enforcement. It doesn't feel like February, that's for sure. But here we are again, and glad to be over with Brian and his team at Luther Family Ford. And what a great winter it's been. I don't know, I was telling Brian I haven't worn a coat more than maybe 10 times all winter long. But it's great, and I've got to believe that those of you working in law enforcement have to be out once in a while. Don't mind this either when the weather is nicer. So great to be with all of you who are watching us on AM1100theflag.com for the Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement. We've been doing this several years now, and it's a chance that we really enjoy, along with Brian's team, to come over here and really celebrate the people who keep our communities safe and secure, the people who do such great work for us in law enforcement when we get a chance to come over here and do this. And our hearts and our thoughts are with members of the law enforcement community in Minnesota after the events that happened over the weekend in Burnsville as well. It's never far from our minds the difficult job that law enforcement has and the risks that they put themselves in each day to do what they do. And so it's with a somber tribute as well for them today, and our thoughts and prayers to the Burnsville Police Department, the paramedics involved, as well as they try to recover from what was a horrible incident over the past weekend there as well. So we are here today to say thank you, not to just a couple people, but really the entire team over at the Moorhead Police Department. We appreciate them very much. Chief Shannon Monroe is here with us today, and Chief, we appreciate you being here today and helping make this possible. So thanks. We'll be hearing from you here in a little bit as well. Brian, this is something we really look forward to each time we get to do this, to come over here and say thanks to law enforcement with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great time every time these guys get to come over here and see us, and we get to spend a little bit of time together and honor somebody from the department. And yeah, the things that happened down in Burnsville, it kind of make you understand that there is no routine call for these guys. It's something different, and you never know what could happen every day. So
yeah, you got that right. We are very thankful for them. The men and women of the Moorhead Police Department serve us 24/7, 365, and we want to thank all of them. A number of the members of the team are here today, so thank you all for coming over. It's great to see you, have you over here today. With that being said, it's time to meet this month's honoree. I'm happy to introduce to you this morning Officer Jonathan Hanson. Let's give him a round of applause as a congratulations today. So Jonathan, what does this mean to you to be honored and recognized by your peers the way we're doing it today?
Oh, it's an amazing feeling. I definitely watched a few videos before today just to know what I was going to say, but it's fun going through their profiles and see what other officers have been through, and to be among those officers is a pretty good feeling for me.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to say a special welcome to Tara, Jonathan's wife, as well, for being here today. Welcome, and we're thankful to you. We know that it's a big job for the people that stand behind the family members who do this job too, so thanks for being over here with us today. So let me tell you a little bit about Jonathan. We want to thank Captain Swenson for sending over a summary for us here today. The Moorhead Police Department nominates Officer Jonathan Hanson as Luther Family Ford's February Salute to Law Enforcement recipient. Officer Hanson's dedication, knowledge, and personality have made him an experienced and influential member of our department and our community. Jonathan grew up in Sunburg, Minnesota, population 116. How many people know where Sunburg, Minnesota? Okay. Yep, me too, a Minnesota boy, good job. Graduated from Belgrade-Brooten-Elrosa High School in 2005. Jonathan then attended Alexandria Technical College and graduated in 2007 with a degree in law enforcement. Due to the highly competitive job market for officers, Jonathan decided to join the U.S. Navy as Master at Arms. Jonathan was stationed at various duty stations, including Washington, D.C. and Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. After the Navy, Jonathan worked several jobs, including being a correctional officer at a prison, a correctional officer at the Clay County Jail, and working in private security. He obtained a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from MSUM while working various jobs. He joined the Moorhead Police Department shortly after and has served our community for nearly 10 years. Officer Hanson has been instructing several types of department training for most of his career. He was selected as field training officer in 2016. He is involved in conducting new hire background investigations, preparing new officers for uniformed patrol at our in-house academy, and day-to-day further officer training throughout the process. He was also instrumental in researching and developing a new system of documenting FTO training records. Even when Jonathan is not working in his capacity as a field training officer, he is often often found coaching, teaching, and mentoring junior officers in every aspect of the job. Officer Hanson was selected as a use of force instructor back in 2018. In this role, he is responsible for training officers in techniques to control restrained individuals effectively to protect themselves and others. He is the lead taser instructor for the department and is responsible for the annual training and inventory of taser equipment. He was selected as an emergency vehicle operation and control instructor in 2016. In this position, he is responsible for training officers on safe and defensive driving techniques that officers use every shift. Officer Hanson was selected to join the Red River Valley Regional SWAT Crisis Negotiations Team in 2021. And in 2023, he was chosen for the role of Assistant Team Leader. During his time on the team, he's been involved in several successful negotiations in primary and support roles. In 2023, he was the primary negotiator while called to a male suspect on the roof of a building after committing arson. The male refused to come down and threatened to jump from the roof. After hours of diligent interaction with the male, he willingly came off the roof and was detained without further incident. Jonathan now lives in rural Moorhead with his wife, Tara. They spend most of their free time caring for their 4 dogs, 6 chickens, 2 ducks, and 1 cat. If it were up to Tara, they would have more animals. We thank Jonathan for his service and look forward to what he will continue to bring to our community in the future. Congratulations and thanks for all that you do in the community. Hey, I'm a farm kid. I'm good with all of that, so more the merrier. Jonathan, did you always want to be in law enforcement, or is it something that kind of just grew on you as time went on?
It was my late years of high school, I did a ride-along with the Candy County Sheriff's Office, and I loved every minute of it. We didn't, unfortunately, get to do a whole lot that day, but just the freedom that I saw that he had as far as decision-making and what he could do that day, and it was something different than he did the previous day. It was really fun to see, and just talking with him about the challenges that this job can provide, just to keep you growing as a person, were huge to me, and that's why I got into it.
You've done so many different things, different roles and different responsibilities. What along the way have you enjoyed doing the most, do you think?
Training in general, I mean, whether it's in defensive tactics, EVOC, or FTO, all of those, just sharing my knowledge with somebody else is good feedback for me.
What do you tell people when they're just getting started? They don't know much about the job. They've heard, they've seen, they've gone through training of some kind, obviously. But what kinds of things you tell them or talk to them about when they're getting started, just to make sure that they can ease themselves into that role?
I kind of take a sidetrack from that, and I take more of a focus on actually what they can do in their personal lives. I try to teach my young officers, such as personal finances, how to save for retirement right away when they're 20 years old, when it's the time to do it, and as well as things not to get in trouble at work and how to keep, in your own lane, and that type of stuff is what I take a liking into.
Tell me a little bit about what you talk to the young people coming in, just in regards to caring for your mental health and being able to, try to leave it at the door the best you can and go home to a family in many cases and just try to have that balance. What kind of things do you talk to them in that regard?
I would say most to reach out, like you said, family, friends, and things like that. Talk about it. Make sure you have friends that are non-law enforcement to get different backgrounds and different perspectives on things, as well as the resources that we luckily do have at the Moorhead Police Department, such as Dr. or Pastor Aaron that we have in-house.
Tell me about what it means. You got a number of your colleagues here with you today, and to be supported and recognized by your department. What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. It's good to see this amount of people during we're all busy at the Moorhead Police Department. It can be very busy at times, so for them to take the time out of their days means a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, very good. I want to talk to Chief Monroe here for a minute, too, about Jonathan. We read a great biography there, but just speaking from the heart, what does this guy mean to your team?
Well, I think you heard it in that biography. He's just the cornerstone of our training in numerous areas. In fact, he's on duty here today, and he's got his trainee with him that he's trying to get ready for the street so he can get on solo patrol. And that's what, anytime a conversation about Jonathan comes up, is just the value he brings to our training for new officers and new equipment, new software in this latest case on how we're documenting our training. So he's just solid officer for us.
Got to ask you a little bit about the incident that happened in Burnsville over the weekend. Just what goes through your mind and your heart as you think about what those people are going through down there in that team?
That's tragic, when we had that happen not that long ago right here in Fargo. And unfortunately, these things continue to happen, and it's at a time when there's not a lot of people going into this career field anymore, and those are the kind of incidents that I think maybe even cause some people to question whether or not they want to continue in this field. But we need good men and women, and somebody's got to be out there when everybody else is at sleep, making sure the rest of us are safe, and that's what these young men, women, and do.
Yeah, well, we're very thankful for all of you who do that day to day, for sure. Tell us about what's happening in Moorhead these days. What do you want the community to know? Maybe some trends that you're seeing over in Moorhead.
I think the biggest thing to get ready for is to see orange, because we have a lot of construction that's going to be going on, starting in downtown and some street repairs around the city. And hopefully this weather helps us get started on it early and spreads it out over more months. But there's going to be a lot of changes coming, and it's going to take some patience from our drivers.
Yeah, and watch those speed limits, right?
That's right.
In those posted areas. So great. Well, Shannon, thank you for being here today, for the leadership you provide, and for what you and your team do for our community. We say it all the time, but when one part of our community is patrolled by good law enforcement, it means a lot to everybody. So thanks for all that you and your team do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Moorhead Police Chief Shannon Monroe. Sandy's Donuts also going to say their thanks, delivering some goodies here to Luther Family Ford and also to the Moorhead PD. Now, Brian gives a $100 gift card each time that we do this to the officer that is being honored, and every time they tell us about a place that they would like that to be paid forward to. And so, Jonathan, you've got an organization that means something to you over in Moorhead that you want to make sure that this gets sent to. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, I'd like to send it for love of dog. I know my wife would really greatly appreciate that for the animal comments, but as something I know I have friends that have taken dogs in just temporarily, I forget the term for it, foster animals and adopting animals from them, and it just seems like it's going to a really good cause.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll make sure that gets over there so that they get blessed by that. So thank you, Brian, for doing that each time. That means a lot, I know, to those organizations. We have created an honoree section on our website, am1100theflag.com. And if you want to go there, you can read more about Jonathan and all the other honorees that we've had in this program. And in the days ahead, we'll be inviting him to come on the Need to Know Morning Show with Alex and Kevin on AM 1100 and FM 92.3 The Flag as well. At our company, the last thing I always like to say is that when law enforcement takes action and it makes the news, we give the benefit of the doubt to the people who protect and serve our community. So with that, I want to say thanks to everybody for coming out here to Luther Family Ford for the February Salute to Law Enforcement. And let's one more time give a big round of applause to our honoree today, Officer Jonathan Hanson. And we'll see you back here next time on am1100theflag.com.
Great job.
Oh, yeah, well, you do it enough.